Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Engine Builder Show. For our topic today, Gabe will be sharing with us how to work less, earn more, and eliminate stress with this powerful secret. If you want to know what that secret is, stick around. Good morning, everybody.
There was always a ton to learn. Last week, I got back from about 20, almost 20 days off of work, about a little over 2 weeks of work. And I do this every year. I take time off with my son and we do a father-son trip. And it's something that always just really inspires me, encourages me. It's something that's super important to me because I didn't become an entrepreneur to work all the time and miss out on my family and this, time with them and their events and things they want to do. I started, I became an entrepreneur, one, because I'm fairly unemployable. So that's a big factor. And secondly, because I really wanted to achieve, freedom of time, money, and to achieve the goals and dreams that I have, not only for my family, but for the world. Being able to provide for an amazing team like we have is something that is incredibly motivating to me, helping clients really reach their target audiences with amazing offers and grow their businesses. There's a lot of really amazing things that can come out of being an entrepreneur. But one of the things that I see happen too often, and I was in this cycle for years in the past, is we end up just overworking ourselves. And so the real secret to growing your business and to earning more, working less, and having less stress as an entrepreneur is learning this practice of entrepreneurial silence. And I've heard this explained from many, many different really successful entrepreneurs over the years. Hal Elrod was one of the first ones that really helped me understand this in his book, The Miracle Morning. He just talks about taking a few minutes each day for gratitude, for silence, just to take time and journal. I also read an amazing book called The Family Board Meeting. And it talks about how if we are willing to just commit focused time with our loved ones every quarter, then we can continue to just deepen our connection. And I've another one of my friends, George Bryant, really talks about creating containers where we can have peace and quiet. And that's what allows us to have the opportunity to grow and change. And this is based on just a universal law. It's a principle of the universe. And that is that we can't just work and work and work and work and expect to get results. There's balance there. This is one of the things that I really find discouraging and frustrating. And to be honest, I hate about the hustle pop culture of what people claim is entrepreneurship. Because imagine if you were getting ready to run a marathon, if you train 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, 12 months a year, and you had no days off, all you would do is beat your body up and you wouldn't be in a position of strength to accomplish that goal. Yet somehow in the entrepreneurial circles, it's preached and talked and, everyone's lied to and says, well, you need to hustle more, you need to grind more, you need to do more. And there is a season for that, but it's a very short season. I watched an awesome movie last week called Hustle with Adam Sandler about this guy that came from Europe and became a part of the NBA against all odds, a lot of challenges. So when Adam Sandler's character in the movie starts training this guy, he says, we're going to train for the next 6 weeks. And they train really, really hard. And they train, 6 days a week, and they're pushing really hard. But then the day before the big event, the combine, and all the things that this player needed to get through in order to be considered, Adam Sandler's character says to him, he's like, hey, this is just like running a marathon. Today, I don't want you doing anything. I want you to stay in your room. I want you to relax. I want you to just rest so you can be your best. And so even though he had that really intense period of, training and working up to it, he, even knew in order to perform his best, he was going to have downtime and relax. And so as entrepreneurs, if we don't apply that universal law, all we're going to do is burn ourselves out and put ourselves in a position where we're killing our bodies. I've talked about that on the show before because I've had clients that I coached in the past that literally were killing themselves physically by overworking. And when they put a good structure in place like this and they practice this art of entrepreneurial silence, immediately their health improved, their business got better, their personal life got better, everything started to balance out again. But we have to learn that if we're going to push hard, we can do that for a short season. And to me, that short season is 90 days maximum, where I will work more than normal. I will, do a little bit of work on the weekend. I will push if I need to, but I set a commitment with my team, with my, spouse, Rachel. And I say here, I am in a season of working hard, but it's going to end on or before this date. And I stick to that. So we have to realize that push is helpful, and sometimes it's required, but it's detrimental and will crush us if we make that our ongoing habit. If we think that being in that, busy season forever is helpful, we're not giving our business, our mind, our body time to refresh, to, rest, refresh, and grow. And so the thing that's been most helpful to me here is to practice this silence, is to practice shutting down and logging out. So when I first started this, what really helped me a lot was not getting on social media until afternoon. So that way I would get up, I would focus on priorities. I would do the things I need to do. And then I would get on social media afternoon. And that was one of the first steps I took. And that helped me to disconnect or log out or shut down, getting distracted with things that don't really matter for my business. I still have a great following on social media. I still have lots of connection. I get to connect with you here. But I was able to say, this doesn't need to be a distraction every 5 minutes during my day, because that just burns my productivity to the ground. The second thing that I've done is block out what my friend George Bryant kind of like labeled this for me. It's been really helpful, but putting containers in my schedule that say, during this time, I'm not going to take meetings, I'm not going to be distracted, and I'm going to focus on this project. Other times I block in my calendar just thinking time. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to sit, I'm going to think. I will maybe write down it on paper, or, in my Evernote app on my phone, I write down some thoughts or notes, but I'm not going to allow myself to get distracted with other things. I'm just going to sit and think. And then ultimately, as I started to practice those little things, it helped me create the mental habit of being able to disconnect, log out, and shut down from a business perspective, so that now by 4 or 5 o'clock on Friday, I'm done. And I don't think about work at all the whole weekend. It doesn't matter if, a project's not quite where I want it to be. If there's a frustrated client, which happens, all of us have faced that in business. It's not very often, fortunately, but when it does happen, I don't think about it over the weekend. I work on it during my workday. And when you start to build in these little micro disconnections, and you build focus and discipline in a small time container, again, like maybe not logging into social media till a certain time, or blocking out thinking time or work time, that helps you relearn this like silence that we need to give our mind, our body, our business time to grow, because we're not just pushing constantly. The other thing that's really important is just relearning to love yourself through self-care, drinking enough water, going for a walk every day, exercising, eating right. That's the way that you take great care of yourself. And when you take great care of yourself, you can show up for your business, for your team, for your clients in such a different way. And so realizing that in order to really work less, earn more, and eliminate stress is about, creating these containers for ourselves. That's a huge step forward that will allow you to be in a better position. Because the other thing that happens unintentionally is when we work too much, is we hoard too much on our own plate. We're not delegating to, a VA. We're not delegating to our team. We're not, thinking of how to be strategic instead of just busy. And when you do start to grow a team, if you don't step away and let them handle things on your behalf, then you're stifling their growth, and you're becoming the ultimate decision maker for everything, which is a huge time suck, energy suck, and just not productive. And you're stifling their growth so that they can't step into any level of leadership or their own competence. And we have to trust our team that they can do the right thing. And we have to also give them the safety and space and protection so that when they fail, we can step in and support them, but they can learn on their own, because they're going to learn more when they make their own mistakes and we coach and support from the sidelines than they are if we constantly jump in and try to rescue them and try to do the work for them, because then there's really no point in having them there, right? And it's not their fault. It's our fault that we're behaving that way as a leader, as an entrepreneur. So my encouragement to you today is, if you're feeling like you've been stuck, like we talked about yesterday on the show, of just kind of like a capped revenue level, if you're feeling too busy, ask yourself, are you really applying the best practices of how to, work a reasonable amount every day, 6, 8, 9 hours maybe, and then take the break and really step away and focus on other things? Are you taking time off on the weekend? Are you giving your mind and body and your business space to breathe, to have silence, and then grow? Because again, constant, messing with things, constant drive, and focus, all it does is just lower your capacity and the results that you're putting out there. So I would encourage you to find that silence, learn the art of entrepreneurial silence, focus on how you can change behaviors. Start with something small that's easy, because you can then create this new behavior of disconnection, and you'll be able to disconnect, log out, and fully be present for yourself, for your loved ones. And you'll be in such a better space when you come back and you look at how you can, really serve and support your team and your company and your customers and clients. So I hope that's useful to you. I hope you take time for yourself today and you evaluate how you are choosing to invest your time, either consciously or unconsciously. If you need any help with this, just reach out. You can reach us at businessmarketingengine.com or comment down below. I'd be glad to share any resources that I have.